in a WhatsApp community, we have been lately getting a lot of questions on understanding the nighttime weaning. So, what is the right age to stop the nighttime feeding also for the kids?
At 1 year of age, a child is nutritionally ready to be weaned off completely. But as parents, as mothers, it's difficult to immediately wean off at 1 year. But at 1 year, they can start weaning off the child at night. And because I feel that's an important time to wean off, because the child now makes it a habit to fall asleep while being fed. And that's the easiest way for the mother to put the child to sleep also. And when something becomes a habit and not a need, then it's very difficult to break that cycle.
Yeah, you're right, because I think this becomes a comforting situation for the child, and then so there also, then how do you proceed with that? Because again, for you as a parent, you want to make it easier for the child to fall asleep. Then you're also worried about the nutritional needs. All these complexities also arise in your own mind. So how do you, as a parent or as a mother, try to make it possible?
So first thing, I'll talk about nutritional needs. Uh, it's important to drop off the night feed and feeding in between at night, because what happens is the child unknowingly just keeps drinking milk at night, and the nutritional needs are met by breast milk at night. Then the solid intake in the morning reduces. And at this age, at 1 year of age, this is not the nutrition they need. They need other things from solid food. So nutritionally, it's important to wean off. And secondly, this becomes a sleep crutch. So that is very important. And I feel there's no easy way to wean off at night. I feel the easiest way is for the mother to give the child to the partner or the grandparents to put the child to sleep at that time, because mothers find it very difficult to not give milk at night when the baby's crying, and the mother's very tired and wants her own sleep also. So I think if someone else can take charge, and one important thing is to prepare the child before you take the step. To maybe about from a week before, or at least 4 5 days before they want to stop, tell the child, see, I'm giving you milk today, but after 4 days I'm going to stop. You have to sleep.
But then how do you do it for a 1 year old? Because you can explain to a 2 year old, they
Yeah.
might get it, but not to a 1 year old may not be able to comprehend that, right?
They won't be able to comprehend it fully, but they do understand that something is going to happen soon enough. So it is important to prepare them verbally for it. And many people try out, putting neem oil and all these things that I feel very traumatic for the child. I mean, it does the job, but it's very traumatic for the child. Other than that, is to prepare and a family member take over.
So one aspect is like weaning of when you're trying to put the child to sleep, right? At that time, but also when they sometimes, and especially around 1 year, they do get up in the night, and that time also they have this need to feel comforted. And again, breastfeeding is a way of comforting them. How do you navigate that when they get up in the night and do it?
Breastfeeding has become a way for them to be comforted, because that's what we've been doing for 1 year. If we stop and maybe just pat them or just hug them or have like a hand on them or sing to them, anything can be a comfort factor when they wake up if we change that.
So I think there's a lot of preparedness for ourselves also, because we have to be ready for the. It might take a little bit longer for the child to get into this new way of being comforted.
It is a big transition, because just like birth was a big transition, going away from the breast and having your own food is a huge transition for the child, but something that has to be done.
Also, I mean, we as mothers sometimes associate again breastfeeding with bonding and that nighttime bonding that you're having with your child. I think as we are preparing the child, how do we prepare ourselves also that this is still the bond remains intact, right? It's not that something is going away from you, because I think that feeling as a mother also a lot of times it occurs to us, right?
So, Dr. Montessori talks about the entire childhood as being a series of attachments and separations. First, the child was attached in the womb, then it's separated, then the child is attached at the breast, has to be separated. But for the mother to understand how important the separation is for them to move on to the next stage of development. And I think at this point, it's very important that the partner is of help also, because emotionally the mother goes through a lot during weaning to stop breastfeeding. So the partner support is very important at that time.
So good you mentioned this, like while again, how do you sensitize the partner to it? I mean, how can they support? Why don't we also have some thoughts on that? Because that's also very important. How do the partners understand this? Because they don't go through this, any aspect of this, right? So how do they become more sensitive to the feelings that the mom is going through?
I think if I feel this sensitization has to happen from right when the mother's pregnant, to involve the partner in all the decision makings from when the mother's been pregnant, to feel the baby, to ask the partner to talk to the baby. So then when the partner sees what the mother's doing with the child, then they become more aware of what it means to the mother to feed the child.
It's a very important aspect that all of us, all mothers struggle with. And knowing that it is going to take time, and once you start this, you should not go back to the earlier habits, is a very important aspect of making it a easier process for both the child and the mother.